What comes next? There is much going on that really doesn't need speculation. It's out there for everyone to see. But where it all leads, that's where we can still theorise. With the speed of their jab rollout, it can't have bypassed many that the goalposts are changing almost daily. It's just 2 weeks, it's just one Christmas, it's just 1 year. It's just your job, it's just your relative, it's just one jab. It's only the over 80s and the vulnerable, now the 70s, actually, once over the 50s. Hang on, every adult. No, wait a minute, children too. So before we have even had time to study the effects of this new wonder drug or see the results of any trials, they are going for the children. It may sound as if they are coming for them, literally, and to be honest, they make it sound like that. They have taken more than is rightfully theirs. It's not just the limited freedom and choices we did and do have, but they are also taking your time. And that really is something you cannot buy more of or get back. They're now pushing even faster for more of you. They want to know what will happen if they keep pushing, keep jabbing, and keep wanting from you. It will wear you down, there's no doubt about that. But wear you down to what? They believe it will wear you down to compliance, that the constant pressure and strain will break many, and possibly it will. People haven't been designed to cope with ongoing stress, or emotional pressure, or fear, for long, sustained periods of time. It is detrimental to our development, health, and growth. This we know. So I have to presume they are well aware of what they are doing to people. But ultimately, I and others do keep coming back to the why of it all. Why are they doing this? Is it just for the Great Reset? Is it for Agenda 2130, where you will own nothing and be happy? As we have seen of late, there are many theories, some conspiracy still as they have yet to play out. But some have become undeniable fact. And the most worrying development for most is the way they want to jab everyone, including children, even though they have admitted they are no risk from the virus and don't know of any long or short-term effects. So anyone in their right mind should be concerned at that, no? Well, apparently not. Only some people are furious and outraged and have gone into protective mode over their offspring. But an alarming number of people seem to be as blindly trusting as they have been for decades that the establishment knows best. That they must be doing everything for our best interests, health and safety. Why anyone would really think that is beyond me, given what we know of governments and what they have done, home and abroad. Yet here we are, people literally lining up to hand themselves over to be looked after. Good luck to them, and I really hope I'm just being over the top with my worries and speculations. I will finally get to the point of this one and how it links together for me. The rate of heart attacks since the rollout has been of concern to me, and hopefully many others. A development we did not see before the rollout, and one which any normal person would presume to be related to said rollout until we could prove otherwise. They seem to be super keen to shut out any discussion, questioning or debate surrounding that, which in itself is another concern. But where does that lead if there is a link? Heart problems, and in particular myocarditis, is now prevalent, and like many people, I hadn't heard of this condition at all throughout my life until this year. And that it is mostly happening in young, fit and healthy people is even more worrying. I theorise here that elderly people may have already passed from this after the rollout started, but they would have just been written off as average heart attacks, especially if within 14 days, as they don't consider you vaccinated until after that time, or at least did. Now you aren't, if they say you aren't, regardless of what you have done so far. So young people are being encouraged to have it, regardless of the effects on them. They are being pressurised through emotional blackmail and threats of dreams and hopes being crushed and taken away. So many are complying. The survival rates for myocarditis aren't good. By 5 years you have a 50% chance of mortality. That really doesn't sound advisable as a risk against a survival rate of 99.7% if you do happen to catch the Rona. Let's imagine how different your childhood and teenage years or young life becomes, or would have been, if you have a ticking time bomb in your chest. Technically, we are all on the clock and have an expiry date, but that gives it a new level of intensity surrounding mortality. Don't get too worried or anxious about it though, you might have a heart attack. Don't get excited or have fun, or run, or dance, or anything that would raise your heart level too much, just in case. Might die. Suddenly it changes how you think, behave, interact with others, and more importantly, it shortens your time. Maybe some people would still live and experience things. Go with the old saying, feel the fear and do it anyway, or you only live once, right? Throw caution to the wind and experience what you can while you can. But others won't. They will stop living in case they die. It seems so counterproductive. Stop people living in order to stop people dying. Although we know that was just the buckled lie to get everyone to jump through hoops, and they did. And in the end, they didn't stop anyone dying. My previous article, It Looked Sinister, covers these points, and since then we know of more. This isn't about saving anyone, but does seem to be about controlling people, their habits, thoughts, wants, their futures and fears. And let's be honest, the children are the future, so if you manage to get them now, you have the future sewn up. They can't fight back if they can't fight. And that goes for all of us. We are not gone yet, and should not leave them to the possibility of a dark fate and future. If we are wrong, no harm done. We look silly and move on. But if we are right, it doesn't look good.